Okay, prep career students. So we have been talking about interviews and what types of behaviors you should have in an interview. Well, what you should know are some basic questions that they're going to ask you in our interview. So here are some sample questions. I picked 10 questions that we're going to review. What I need you to do is to click on this form, and it's going to take you over to the interview questions Google form. So we're going to have mock interviews, and we're pretending to apply to and submit our resume to Subway, the restaurant Subway. Please answer these questions with the answers that best fit you. So first of all, put your name. You're going to type your name, my name. You're going to answer these questions. I gave you some suggestions on how to answer these questions. These questions I'm going to be asking you in our mock interview when you set up a time with me. So the first question says, why do you feel you are the best candidate for this job? Here are some suggested answers, and you can also type in your own if you do not like any of these. I am responsible, reliable, and a hard worker. I have a great work ethic and would love to work here. I think I would do well in this line of work, and I am a team player. So you click on whichever one you think it might be. Do you have any experience in this type of work? So when we talk about Subway, what does that mean? That means in a restaurant business. Do you have experience handling food? Do you have experience, cleaning a dining room or using a cash register or, those types of things? So you can either say not exactly, like here's just suggestions. Not exactly, but I'm a fast learner and I want to learn as much as I can about the job. Or, yes, I do have experience in this line of work doing blank, and you can fill that in. This is maybe not what you would say, but I'm an expert at this or other. So I'm going to say no, not exactly, but I'm a fast learner and I want to learn as much as I can. The next one, tell me about your strengths. I'm a good listener and I like to be around people. I have good attendance and love working. I really like to learn new things, or other. So these are strengths. What are you good at? Okay, so your employer is going to want to know that about you. Like anybody, we have strengths and we also have weaknesses, things that we need to work on. The next question says, tell me about a weakness of yours. So here's some suggestions you could say, and you can also, I put other on every single one of these so you can pick something else if you don't like any of these. Sometimes I get distracted from my work. Sometimes I have trouble asking for help, or I've been called a perfectionist, but I like to do things right. So here's some things you might say. This last one here that says, I've been called a perfectionist, but I like to do things right. That's kind of like playing on your strengths, but calling it a weakness, kind of. I mean, being a perfectionist isn't always a strength. It can be a downfall like it is here as a weakness, but that's something, just a way to look at that. So pick one of those, or you can write your own. Now, you're going to have to practice these questions with somebody, because this is what I'm going to ask you in our mock interview. So you're going to have to pick an answer that you feel comfortable saying in your mock interview with me, okay? Are you available on weekends? So are you willing to work a job on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays? Well, here's the thing. In a restaurant business or retail or some other jobs, weekends are a time when they make a lot of money, so they're going to need a lot of help on weekends. So you could either say yes, I'm available, yes, you are available on weekends, and if ever I'm not, I'll be sure to let you know in advance. Or you could say no, but I wouldn't mind working a couple weekends if you needed me, or other, if there's something else you want to say. So, I mean, obviously, as a first job starting out, it just might be the name of the game where you start working weekends when you first start out. Okay, next question. Tell me about how you would handle a difficult customer. So let's say you're working at Subway. Let's say, you know, this is a scenario where you made somebody's sandwich and they get it, and all of a sudden they realize that the lettuce is really bad, like it's gone bad. And you didn't notice while you were making it that the lettuce was bad. So the customer comes up and starts complaining to you and is very upset about the sandwich. How would you handle that situation? When you're in an interview, employers might give you the scenario to see like what your thought process is, how you problem solve, that type of thing. So here's suggested answers. I would politely listen to their complaint without interrupting them and then try to help them solve the problem. Or if the customer did not calm down, then I would get the manager. So here's two options that when you are dealing with the public and dealing with customers, these are some suggestions of like how you should handle that situation. You could put you could type in your own answer, but I would go ahead and like personally, if it was me, I would try to listen and then try to help them. Sometimes that may work, sometimes that might not work. But usually when an employer is asking you this in an interview, it's again to see your thought process and problem solving skills. Next question, how would you handle working with someone you didn't particularly like? Okay, so you're gonna have that in your work situation. There may not be somebody that you get along with. I mean, you may not, but in your whole entire lifelong learning of a job, whole lifetime of being in jobs, this could happen. So here's some suggested answers. I would get the manager involved to help sort it out. So if like you were not getting along well with somebody, you would get your manager involved, say, hey, I'm not really working well with so-and-so. Can you help me sort it out? Because nobody wants to go to work feeling uncomfortable being around certain people, because sometimes when people don't get along, that's sometimes what happens. You start feeling uncomfortable. Another suggestion would be I would give them personal space and I would be civil. So sometimes you can just let it go, give them the personal space and be civil, but know that you will still probably have to work with them at some point or another. I get along easily with people. I don't think that would be a problem. So then just to answer which one you think that would be. Maybe you do get along well with people and you usually don't have conflicts, but sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it could be other people. Okay, what position do you think would fit you best? So here's some suggestions. Pick one of them. I would like to learn as many different positions and jobs as I can. I am really flexible. I would like to clean the dining room, or I would like to make sandwiches, or other. Do you have your own transportation? So this is the piece that they want to see, like, are you going to be able to get to the job on time? Are you going to be able to be there? So yes, if you have a car and a driver's license, click that answer. Yes, I don't have my own car, but my parents agreed to drive me to work. So if your parents are going to drive you, yes, that's what you would say. Or yes, I would take the city bus, or other. So do what you think might be appropriate in that situation. So finally, they always try to throw in this, why should I hire you? Well, you should hire me because I have a positive attitude and I'll work hard every day. I really like this line of work and think I would be good at it. Or I'm a team player and do what is needed to get the job done, or other. So basically in these interviews, you're just trying to sell yourself. You're trying to make it, you know, obviously you want your strengths to come out. You want to show them that you're going to be a hard worker and you have a willingness to work and do a good job. If you're not really interested in working and you don't have a willingness to work, you may want to rethink, like, a lot of those things, like, is it time for me to get a job? But the one nice thing is once you start working and you get money, it's kind of nice to have that money to save it to buy things that we might like. So that is a motivation for some people to work. Plus, it just feels good to get out and be around people and to do something with our lives, you know, to just stay busy and productive. So when you're all done with that, hit submit, and then know that those questions and responses are going to be the questions that I ask for you on the mock quiz. So let me see here. So these are all the questions right here that we would do, like if you guys were in person, we would have wrote all these, but now everything's going to be online. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next assignment.